We're gonna look at my racing rig. Now this video is just gonna be a walkthrough of the racing rig, what I have, what I do, and the progress in the build, because there's still a long way to go, but she's coming along very, very fine this year, which is very exciting. So the rig consists of 90% SimMagic. All the gear I use is SimMagic, either bought through Micro Center or Apex Sim Racing. I always try to support local businesses, as I'm a business owner myself. I do photography. So supporting them was a big, cool thing for me because they're local to me. They're 30 minutes away from me. They're Mountainside, New Jersey. And they have store pickup and they sell a lot of stuff, a lot of sim racing stuff. Very good quality, very good stuff, and awesome people. Jimmy's been great. He's the owner, if I'm not mistaken. He's been great. Sat down with me, tell me what I needed, has gotten me literally 90% of what you see over here and what you're gonna see in the rig. And the dude's just amazing. They're great people. They get you what you need and they help you out. Same thing for Micro Center also. They're bigger company, but been there a few times, bought a lot of the stuff for my PC over there, bought the actual racing rig itself at Micro Center, and they've helped me out also. They've been amazing. So it's been great to collaborate with these companies that, you know, it's a niche hobby, and they're able to actually, you know, get me where I want to get, and it's great. And then, you know, Home Depot's been helping out too. Not really, just walk inside there, get what I need and walk out, but Home Depot's been there too. Home Depot, it's part of the build also, so it's just been great having all these local places I could go to and grab all this stuff and not having to wait online to get the stuff in, which is actually amazing. We'll go through my wheels. I have a large amount of wheels. I've collected a lot of wheels throughout my time. I'm gonna go from bottom up. My AC's here. You'll see the situation in this room. There's literally a room just for the racing rig that I kind of did myself with my wife, and we kind of did this on like 2 days on like Labor Day weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Labor Day or Memorial Day? One of those days, but we literally just decided to go buy plywood, flooring, and put it down. And I was able to actually do this with no idea what I was doing, to be honest with you. Which, I mean, you know, it's not perfect, but it's perfect enough for me. And that's why I love my little area over here up in the attic. So we're starting off with the Neo X 350W. This wheel is probably my favorite wheel because it works best with one of my favorite games, which is Truck Sim. So SimMagic doesn't do a truck wheel yet. Moza does. Moza is actually a little bit compatible with the hub for, with the quick release for SimMagic. It's just they do not connect to each other, so you need to run a cable. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to actually have a wheel that I could press the buttons on and not have a cable, because I don't want cables. I don't want to deal with cables at the moment. SimMagic did release a new QRA, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put it down there. Quick hub, which will probably maybe fix some of those issues, hopefully, willingly. I haven't looked into it very much, but hopefully they do fix it. But this wheel's great because it's huge. So it's considered a drifting wheel, but I use it a lot for truck sim because it's a pretty big wheel. It's like 350 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. So it's bigger than the other wheels that I have here. And this wheel has been great. Besides, there's a glitch with the buttons that I gotta fix, but I'm just being lazy and I have to actually upgrade this wheel. When I upgrade the firmware, that will go away. But this wheel is great. It holds down the fork good. It's good for drifting. It has space here, so you can actually get your hands in there. And it's just a fun wheel. And the way it looks is literally a drift wheel, but it works. Wait, we got a call. We're Chinese food for the kids. So let's grab this real quick. So this wheel's great. I appreciate the wheel because it helps me with my truck simulator fun. And that's one of my favorite games. As you can tell by my YouTube channel, I love Truck Sim. So this wheel's great. I enjoy it. My next wheel is the SimMagic GTS wheel. This is my first wheel ever. When I first bought my my Alpha, which we'll get to the wheelbase in a little bit. When I bought my Alpha, this was the first wheel I bought. And this came with it. This came from Micro Center. This was my first purchase. A lot of sentimental value. I love the paddle shifters on this wheel. A lot of sentimental value. I will never get rid of this wheel. I love this wheel. This is my first wheel. So do I use it as often? No. maybe if I'm doing BeamNG, as you can see, I have some layouts here for like, my trans brake, stuff like that. My NAS, so it's kind of mapped out already. So this is like my BeamNG wheel, if you could say. I love this wheel because it's my first wheel, so sentimental value to it. It has leather on it. It feels good. It's nice and sturdy. It's strong. Buttons work. It does have like a rev LED here, which is great. For the quality of this wheel and the price tag is insane. I feel like for the price that you're paying for this wheel, unbeatable. I don't know anything else that's in the market that gives this quality that this wheel does for that price range. It is on a smaller side. I know I said that right. It is on the smaller side. And that's the only downfall to this wheel. It is a little bit smaller. So if you're a big hand guy, this is probably not the wheel for you. You guys remember I was talking about Apex Racing, so down there in Mountainside, New Jersey. I got this wheel from them. This is actually my second wheel that I bought ever. This wheel is the Neo X Hub, but it has the Apex Sim Racing steering wheel on it. So they actually make this themselves. So it has Alcantara and then carbon fiber up in the top and up in the bottom. So this is the Neo Hub. So this wheel I can actually take out and use this hub and adapt it to different wheels if I feel like it. This wheel is great for iRacing. I love using this, especially for those Miata days. We all know in iRacing, when we start out that Miata Cup, everybody loves to do it. This was the wheel that I was using for a lot of the live streams. This wheel's great for also when I'm cutting up in No Hesi, moving around, and just an overall good wheel if you're using it for driving around, maybe a Porsche, maybe a Lamborghini. I don't use it a lot for racing. I use it a lot for like driving around or testing vehicles out. This wheel does not get as much love as it needs to. But I have my niche in the game, but this wheel, when I do take it out, it is fun. Very high quality for the price tag, amazing wheel. SynMagic does a good job of being affordable and having good quality. And then when you pair it with Apex Racing and what they do, it's just unbeatable. So, I mean, this is a great wheel. Great wheel. Has the clutch in the bottom, has the paddle shifters on the top, and I can't complain. So shout out to Apex for giving me this. They gave me this off the wall. I literally looked at it when I walked inside the store and I was like, I want that. And they were like, yeah, it's a display. I was like, I don't care, I want it. Give it. And he gave it to me. They have different options too. They can have a black on black, all carbon fiber. So yeah, check them out at Apex. They're pretty legit, man. And I'm proof right here. Pretty good. Now we're getting into the very expensive wheels. This wheel is the FX Pro. I did not buy this wheel from Micro Center from anywhere. I actually got this wheel on Facebook Marketplace. A gentleman was selling it. They wanted to downgrade, and the price that I got it for was so unbelievable. I literally ran and drove from my house to Staten Island just to get this wheel. This wheel is great. It has a screen on it which shows you the readout. It shows you all the cool stuff. It is a bit of a hassle to set up. I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's the reason why he sold it. He wanted to downgrade. He was having a lot of issues trying to set this up. If you sit down and actually read the telemetry guidance and all that cool fun stuff from SynMagic, because they do have the layout for all the games, you can actually set this wheel up and just make sure you're always updating the firmware on your wheels. And if you guys need a tutorial on that, I'll teach you, because it was a bit of a learning curve for me, but I was able to figure it out. This wheel is great. It has the flags on the side. That's the way I have it set up. RPM over here. The screen, which you could customize. That has like endless amount of screens that you could get from SynMagic. I don't think they're compatible with SimHub yet, or they're going to be. I don't mind. They have the F1 screen for me, and then a screen that I like a lot for like GT3 racing or GT racing period. So I do enjoy this. I don't use this wheel as often for GT racing. I use it a lot when I'm doing Formula One stuff, which I don't do too often, but this wheel is great. It has everything from map, traction control, ABS, brake balance, differential. All of these little things light up too, which is great. The wheel is amazing. I kid you not, this is like my little baby. I try to not even use it that often because I feel like every time I use it, I'm abusing it. And it's just great, you know? It has, look at all the buttons in the back. You have your clutch, paddle shifters up top. Sometimes I set up, if I'm doing GT racing, I set up my turn signals up here and my shifting down here. And this, really nothing, to be honest with you, unless I'm doing like F1 racing. But this wheel, I kid you not, is super duper high quality for the price. It is worth it. It is worth every single dollar. Same wheels from other companies are, if you catch this wheel on sale, a def buy. Especially if you're, you know, thinking about it. Just know technically it's gonna be a little bit of a process to set it up, especially if you want to do port forwarding with SimHub, where, you know, we have on our pedals over here, we do have vibration motors. So setting up SimHub to send the information from the motors to the wheel, making sure everything works together, it is a process, but it's a good, worthwhile process, and I enjoy it. I love this wheel. Another wheel that's amazingly cheap, bought at Micro Center. This wheel is honestly the best bang for your buck wheel I've ever laid. And Moza, so I can't even say SimiCube or the other brands because they're really expensive, but this wheel for the price tag is ridiculous. This is actually the wheel that the gentleman that sold me the FX was actually downgrading to. This wheel's great. It's like 240 bucks. I think I got this on sale for like 200 bucks. I don't know, it's 200 bucks flat. This is the second wheel I've ever bought. Very sentimental, has a lot of sentimental value to me, so I probably won't get rid of it. I probably won't get rid of none of my wheels. I love my Sim, man. I love all my stuff. I can't, this is like a collection to me. This has been a lot of hard work, saving money. I probably won't get rid of none of this stuff. So who am I kidding by saying I'm not gonna get rid of it? They all have sentimental value to me. I love all of my stuff. So this wheel's great. I use this wheel a lot for GT4 racing and a lot for like niche little stuff, go-karting, stuff like that. This wheel is amazing. This wheel has the double, and then it also has your clutches down here, which is great. And I mean, you have so much buttons here. For the price, you can't go wrong with this. You really cannot. It's amazing, 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 amazing. And to be honest with you, it's worth every single dollar. I enjoy it, and it's the GT Neo, and it's just, it does what it does. It does what it needs to. That's what it does, you know? The FX steering wheel, my most used wheel. This wheel is used about 75% of the time, besides the wheel that's actually in the rig that I'm gonna talk to you guys about when I get in the rig. This wheel is amazing. This is my GT3 wheel. This is the wheel that I use in, this is the wheel that I use in all of my gameplays, in Le Mans 2, in Project Cars 2, in Assetto Corsa Competizione, you know, you guys know what I'm saying. This wheel is used a lot. I use gloves with this wheel. I try to take care of it as much as possible. Has the paddle shifters and then the clutch down here. This wheel feels so good. I love it. It has everything that I need: brake balance, ABS, traction control. It blinks. You can set the flag up with the SinMagic logo over here. It's just amazing. This wheel is so good. It feels good. And that's what I like about it. It just feels good. Feels good in the hands. I like it. Some people don't like the curvature. Some people want it to be, this wheel just fits right in my hand. Like when I sit down, I'm just ready to go. Like this wheel's great. You have the sliders here. You can do a whole bunch of stuff, map the buttons. This is it. This is worth the money. I don't care what anyone says. It's usually never in stock. And shout out Apex Sim Racing. Got it. They had it. I actually took the last one. I told Jimmy, I was like, do you guys have this wheel? And he said, yeah. I was like, do you, can I see it? And he's like, yeah, it's the last one. I didn't even see it. I just said, let me take it. This wheel is worth, I don't care if you are gonna get into SimMagic and you're gonna be a GT racer and GT3, GT4, whatever you're gonna get into, this is the wheel. This wheel just feels great. And it's sturdy too. And it's heavy. A lot of these wheels are heavy, not in a bad sense, in the sense of quality. There's quality in the wheel. You want quality wheels. You want wheels that are not gonna deteriorate over time. Am I a fan of the rubber? None of them I am, to be honest with you, but I wear gloves when I race, so it's not that big of a bother. If you are a sweaty person and you're not wearing gloves, you're probably gonna have issues with this rubber over here. I don't, because I wear gloves. Try to always wear gloves, especially if you have Alcantara. You want to wear gloves. You want to protect your wheels. It's like any other car wheel. Over time, your hands get sweaty. Your hands get sweaty. They attach to the wheel itself. So if you're wearing gloves, a lot of these wheels are just gonna last forever. But the only downfall I think to these wheels, to me, is the rubber. And I gotta be honest, I just can't sit here and say that I love everything. Everything's 110%. There is some faults to it. Not everybody's gonna be perfect. So I feel like, you know, if this was more of like a hard plastic, maybe, not even, I don't even know. I wouldn't be able to talk to it, but a different material would have been a little bit better. But besides that, these are, oh no, these are not all my wheels. We do have the last wheel, which is in the actual sim. So let's get to it. This is inside the rig. Here we have the final reel. This is my, well, the newest addition to the wheel, so I'm testing it out. This wheel is a Neo X 330R. It is a bigger wheel than the first wheel I showed you guys, which was my first wheel. This wheel kind of is an amazing size. It fits all the profiles of what I like in a regular wheel. This wheel is used for everything. This wheel, if I feel lazy and I don't want to switch my wheel to the truck wheel, could work out. You know, this wheel has been a great addition to my rig. I love this wheel. So as you can see, we are in a S2000. This is a Assetto Corsa Evo. You guys could kind of get a feel for it. This racing seat is a RaceQuip seat. I got this at Facebook Marketplace for an absolute crazy deal. And this is what I use. I was having a lot of issues before with the placement of this seat and the actual pedals relative to it. So the pedals were more up high. I ended up inverting these pedals. This whole entire cockpit is a P1X Pro from SimLab. Amazing cockpit, sturdy, beautiful cockpit, has given me no issues. My wheelbase is a SinMagic Alpha. It is front mount. So very sturdy, very durable. No issues. We're gonna bring you guys inside the cockpit in a little bit, but I just want you guys to get a feel of it. I am still in the process of figuring out as an individual, still figuring out as an individual what I should do to make this cockpit the way I like it. Sometimes I feel like I like the roof. Sometimes I don't feel like I like the roof. For the past maybe month or so, I wanted a roof, so I've used the roof. Kind of brings me into the car a little bit, and it helps out with the streams also, makes it a little bit more realistic. I'm teeter-tottering between the, do I want to have realism, a lot of realism in the cockpit itself, or should I focus more on getting it done? If I focus on getting it done, I'll probably have it done quicker than, you know, trying to put realism into it, because realism takes a lot of arts and crafts, which I'm not good at. But besides that, this is the racing pit itself. This is where I spend most of my time at racing. And as you can see, we'll bring you inside and you guys will be able to, you know, see what we do. So we are inside. As you can see, my racing equip right here. This is my pillow for my neck because, you know. But besides that, take this hat off. So as you can see, we have hue lights up here. These are the lights that shine down. There's tape on it so it doesn't reflect on the screen. It doesn't do a real good job. You still reflect on the screen, but we're trying to figure out a way to get that situated. As you can see, you're gonna see what it looks like from my point of view. So from my point of view, this is kind of what I see. You have my wheel here. There is another type of RPM gauges that I use here, especially for truck sim. We'll get into that another day probably, because, you know, this button box is the cheapest thing in the world, but it's worth every single dollar. I got this from Amazon for like 90 bucks. So basically you can switch on, turn on your car. So you can see the car turned on and you guys can hear it. We do have, we could actually control our volume from here. So we do have here and this side. So here we have a shit ton of cables back there. We won't worry about that. Once you turn off the lights, that all disappears in the darkness. But we do have our main shifter here. Oh, I just stalled the car. Should have pressed the clutch. But anyway, we have a shifter here, which you can see shifts directly intertwined with SimHub and sends direct signals to our pedals down here, which have the rumble motors. So you'll be able to kind of, hear our motors crash out. So if you see, maybe you'll hear it. Let's see if you hear it. But yeah, there's 3 motors in there that every time I shift, kind of makes a rumbly noise. This is our e-brake right next to our shifter. And then we have this here. This is my truck sim shifter. Why, Noel? Why do you have 2 shifters in here? You're just being an asshole at this point. Listen, when you have to swap this stupid thing out every single time you want to do a truck sim, it gets annoying. This is from my old rig. I was actually selling all this stuff and then I just repurposed it. And this kind of, look, I mean, you could still shift from here too. I still have it set up that way. But you could actually just shift, call it a day, and then, oh, I feel like racing. Well, then we go over here. Oh, I feel like truck simming. Then we'll go back here. So it just works out. I enjoy it. I like it. Just so you guys know, this switch is here too. I have these switches set up for my truck sim because most of my truck sim stuff goes with the switches. So we have like our engine brake here, trailer attached, beacon lights, all that fun stuff. And then, some of this stuff translates into BMNG. Most of my buttons have the stuff that I need them to. So we kind of have our buttons here. We're like, we have our hazard lights here, which you can see on the screen. Our hazard lights are on. And then we can shut them off. We do, or whenever it wants to shut off. Pit, wipers. So we could turn on our wipers from here. Before it was cool to have it here in this button box, but when you're racing and you need to turn your wipers on, it's better just to have it on your steering wheel. It makes life a little bit easier. This I'm going to talk about another day, but I usually put this on the actual mounting over here, and that makes it a little bit more realistic for me. But sometimes I just like to race, man. Just get in a car and go. So as you can see, we'll pop this into first, and we could actually move. And we set our FRB up so it makes sense, and we just drive. We could literally enjoy ourselves. And you have BTEC kick in, S2000 for the win. And we have our steering wheel set up, and we just drive, enjoy ourselves, set some lap times, hit the academy. There's an academy in this game, which is great. Downshift. And, we had ambient lighting at one point. Just hit the e-brake real quick. We had ambient lighting at one point. It's above this roof, actually. So above this was ambient lighting. This cannot be ambient lighting, sadly, because of the program it uses. It doesn't use the actual Hue Light app. It uses Wiz. So we can't get the ambient lighting in here. But nonetheless, we do have our good old strips here to block off most stuff. I ghetto rigged it with tape down here because they only fit on 27-inch screens. I might order the bigger ones from Amazon that I saw. Maybe not. It all depends on how I feel. But nonetheless, I just love this. This is great. So we have fabric here on this side, kind of blocks everything off. So it kind of makes it super dark. So when I'm streaming and stuff, it adds to the realism. Like I said, I don't know yet what I want to do. If I want to stick to being, realistic, or if I want to stick to being basically not realistic, like just having this for myself. It gets hot in here. We are gonna add exhaust fans and fans to blow air in from the AC that's behind this, so the air's coming in through the pedals. We do have multiple fans running around the rig, so in the front and the back of the rig. These fans help circulate the air, especially in a hot area like this where it gets really hot. During the winter, it gets really, really cold. So, you know, I preferably like the winter because it's easier to keep it hot up here than it is to keep it cool because it gets super hot. So, you know, you have the PC. I have my PC over here. So if you turn around, so I have this piece of cardboard down here, not cardboard, it's like basically a piece of wood that I put a fabric on. And then behind it, you have the PC with a fan pointing at the PC. So, you know, you guys basically saw the whole rig. It's dope. I enjoy this. This is my happy place. My wife supports me. She helped me build this whole entire attic. She was with me every step of the way. She helped me build this. She supported me. She saw that I wanted to have an area where I could go unwind after a long day of work, after a long day of shooting, after a long day of dealing with crap out in the real world. And, you know, I can't afford a Porsche. I can't afford a Lamborghini. So I might as well build a rig that resembles it as close as possible. So if I feel like driving a Lamborghini, I could do it. Is it the same as the real car? No, but shit, at least I could drive it and have fun. So that's the way I look at it. And, you know, sooner or later, we'll get into some more professional racing down the line. For now, it's just fun, enjoying myself, having a good place to unwind, especially when we invite people over. A lot of my friends like to come up here. We get up here, we try to set laps. It's a good social stuff to have. It's just fun. And I like having fun. I don't know about you guys, but I like having fun. Oh, and I almost forgot. There's a screen here. This screen kind of gives me all the information. I could switch through screens with these buttons over here, and I'm able to kind of pick out what I want. I usually leave it on this screen right here. This screen gives me a lot of information. I could put my map on here. I could figure anything else out. I have my gauges for my truck sim here too. You'll guys see in a few videos that I have. So I have a lot of stuff. If you guys have any questions, you want to know anything else more into depth with the rig itself, just let me know in the comment section. Be like, Noel, I want to learn more about this. I want to learn more about that. And I will make a video on it and we'll go through it together and we'll see, you know, it's going to be a fun time. But yeah, we're basically good. Hmm.